The collecting habit, for me, it's something that I've let get out of control. I was collecting way too much. And it was, or still is, kind of like an addiction. I've got that compulsion to just keep ordering, to complete collections, to have that latest edition or latest release. I, and perhaps a lot of you, I've struggled with this sort of behaviour for many years, but recently I've started to take a bit of a closer look at what I've been doing, an attempt to face my problems with collecting head on. Now my issue, it's been with collecting movies, but we see similar behaviours across all kinds of collecting, whether it be Pokemon cards, video games, Funko Pops, CDs, books, teapots, plates, you name it. If you collect, then you know. We all have that compulsion for more and more. It's just never complete and you're always on that chase. But it comes to a point of being a collector that sometimes we just have to stop and consider, do we actually want that particular thing? Or does it become more of a thing of needing it for the collection? For me, that had to stop. It could no longer be for the collection. It had to get back to being something for me. So I set to work and I loosely started to use some guidelines from some minimalists and other pointers from people like Marie Kondo. I went quickly through my collection considering, do I really like the thing? When was the last time I looked at the thing? When was the last time I used the thing? And then, realistically, is the thing going to get used again? And is it easily replaceable? I managed to clear out a good chunk from the collection. Yes, more things can probably go, but baby steps. But the thing was, I still needed to work on what I was buying and what I had coming into the house, and also the reasons why. Those pre-orders for the new releases, the impulse to grab numerous titles from a sale, because they were good prices. And it's weird that I wouldn't really want something, but if I deemed it good value or a good price, then I'd order and pick it up anyway. And then it just went into the collection. I found that I needed to set rules for when I was making a pickup. Yeah, is it going to be used? It sounds silly, right? Well, not so much. With me being a collector, I used to just blindly buy stuff for the collection. I'd receive it through the post or pick it up myself, and then it would head straight to the shelf and it would sit there, sealed up and not used. So if the thing isn't going to get used within a certain time frame, do I really need it now? Or at all? Anyway, we need a second rule to go on this board. Is it a reflex? This kind of thing does worry me. Am I ordering just because it's new or just because it's in the sale? Just taking that time to stop and consider if I truly want the item, and then taking the time to make that decision, rather than just jumping in blindly because it's either a good price or considered limited in some way. Take that time. Don't let it just be a reflex reaction to order and to buy. Number 3, keep it simple. Can it wait? Really, if it's widely available, then do I need to be buying it until I'm actually ready to use it? If it's a limited edition, is it going to sell out? Can I wait it out for a standard edition of the thing further down the line? Just taking that time to consider, can it wait? Does it have to be right away? You know, is it for me? It's a bit of a strange one. And I think at times we do actually need to stop and consider if it's something that we truly want. And I think the thing is, it's sometimes we can get kind of swept up in our social groups that are on our phones. And we can kind of get sucked in and fall victim of getting that thing just because everyone else has. Do we sometimes want the thing because several others on our groups also want that thing too? We just need to remember, we don't have to have or like the thing just because someone else does. All of this collecting, everything we gather, it's all meant to be for us. It's a collection for me. It's to my personal taste, and I don't want that to be influenced by others online. So I always need to consider now, is it for me? These kind of rules, I've been using them for a few weeks now. I've used these rules to cut back on what I've been picking up for the collection. And you know what? They've kind of worked. Right up until I realised that something else was starting to happen. I like to think that I've got this movie collecting beast under a little bit of control now. And I did have. I've certainly not been ordering anywhere near like the amount that I used to. But then I realised that there could be a bigger or different issue afoot. I'd stopped ordering the movies, but then somewhere along the same path, a replacement appeared, and I started ordering other things. Now, it wasn't a lot of things, but it was things that I still had the same kind of problems with. Not enough time to use them, or the things that would potentially just sit on a shelf. But still, I was picking them up. There were PlayStation games, perhaps a Lego set, or even a couple of books. Suddenly, this habit of collecting movies had kind of warped. I had successfully slowed down my movie collecting, but found myself that replacement with other things. Why didn't the rules apply to these things? Why couldn't I see what I was doing? I'm now not actually sure if my habit is collecting movies. I've managed to adjust that habit with the movies, but in its place, I still managed to find something else. Which is the habit more about? Just collecting, buying, or hoarding in general? Do I just need more self-control with the purchasing, or is there something else that's kind of underlying, that's causing me and us to just keep spending and collecting things? This is something that I need to figure out, because quite often I just blindly buy these things. I think I want them, and it makes me feel good to order and receive them. Maybe we're just chasing that dopamine hit, the one that comes with the ordering, and then the hit that comes with when you receive it. It seems to matter less and less what the item is, and it's more just about the process of doing it, the thrill of the hunt and the reward of receiving. Is that why we do it? Having the collection, it does bring me joy, but with how much the collection grows and how much space it takes up, things can very quickly get kind of out of control. And with as much joy as it brings me, it also brings me a sense of anxiety at times. I look at the space taken, I consider all the money that I've spent, and then also think about how little the majority of this actually gets used. It just makes me kind of stop and consider, really, why do I need to buy and own and store all of this stuff?